All right, guys, we found one. Crappie number one, little fella. And if you guys have been following the channel lately, we've been doing a lot of this. What we have here, guys, is a subtle but existing current seam, and we have a break there. There's deep water right here. The water comes swiftly through here when the water's up, and it carves a nice pool in here. And where that crappie was right where that current seam is, right there. There's slack water, there's a bit of current coming through here, and that crappie was in the deep water just on that seam. This morning we have really clear water, so what I'm using is a very natural, almost transparent jig in plastic. We are using this little bait as a search bait right now just to generate strikes. And I will probably fish this all day. With the low water, lack of current, and clear water, those fish become more bashful. Put on those natural looking ones and you will catch those fish. Crappie number three, guys. Same spot. I have not moved. I'm just working it very thoroughly. And what I'm finding is that these crappie are on the top side of this break, okay? They are not in the pool. I throw all the way to bank, and what I do is I don't even let that jig hit bottom. They are feeding up. Crappie feed up. So I'll throw out like this, and I will just roll it right under surface, right where those bait fish are. And those crappie come up and they hit it. They're feeding on those bait fish. There's another one, hit it. And I'm just waiting for that crappie thump, guys. I'll throw in the same spot many, many times. There he is. Look at that. Another one. White crappie there, guys. It's crappie number 4, folks. 2 casts in a row. Okay, effective crappie fishing. 3 casts in a row. Crappie number 5, number 6, number 7, 8. Fish number 9, doing the same thing on the opposite side. We were just fishing there, and now we're fishing this side. We have a similar situation. Fish number 9. 9 crappie, guys, off that one spot. Well, 2, but basically one spot. 8 of them off one side and 1 off the other. That goes to show you how tight those fish are. 8 of those 9 fish came off of a spot that was no larger than 4 by 4 feet. 8 of the 9 fish, guys. So that is how tightly packed those crappie are in on those spots that are ideal for them. You gotta comb the area and find where that sweet spot is and just keep throwing to that sweet spot. We're headed downstream for some more fishing. See if we can find another ideal spot, bit of current, a pool, some stained water potentially. Let's get on a couple more. Our first one, folks, right off that riffle there. On the seam, right off moving water. First crappie. We have a large area to work here, but we're gonna get that fish back so I don't have to talk over the freight train. We made it to my last spot that I wanted to fish, and it's gonna keep me busy for a while because we got a lot of moving water. We have a riffle there going into a pool. As you can see, there's tons of cut bank, and there's all moving water throughout that cut bank. All that is moving water, all good potential for crappie. So that is why I was excited to get to this spot. So let's not waste any time. Let's get out there, work those areas, find out where those fish are holding, and catch a pile of crappie. Hopefully it works out. Let's get to it. Crappie number 5, our first white one off this spot, and we are just getting started. Crappie number 5. Channel cat. Cute little fella. Decent largemouth there, guys. Searching, searching, searching. That is a nice little bass there for a creek. Gotta give credit where credit's due for sure. Hey, there's number 7, guys. They are being picky. I can feel them thumping it. They are being picky for some reason. Them little ones, man. When they get tight-lipped like that, probably because it's late in the day, you have to work a lot harder for those fish. I can honestly say I worked this area very thoroughly. I think I've been here for at least an hour and a half, combing every square inch of ideal crappie habitat. And I only came up with those 6. There's a lot going for this spot, and that is why I fished it so thoroughly. If I were to say there was one thing that might be going against it, if I could think of anything, it's that we're on a warming trend. We are gonna have 90s today. It only got down to 73 last night, and I feel like when we get into those warmer temperatures and higher overnight lows, those crappies just aren't as activated. We had a good 2-week stretch there, 2-3 week stretch there where the highs were in the mid to upper 70s, and those fish were very activated. So as fall progresses, I think that bite will pick up again, but it will also be tough if we do not get more rain, because those waters will continue to recede. The water will clear up, our currents will dissolve, and fishing will still be complicated in that respect. So we're gonna make our way back upstream. Maybe we'll fish a little bit longer. I'll get back to you guys soon. All right, friends, just like the last trip we took when we were on the river, middle of the day, 10:30, we catch another one at the same spot we found them earlier. What I want to find out is how these fish may be set up differently because it is later in the day. So that is solely why I'm fishing this spot again. Not so much as to catch more or less to find out how their behavior has changed and how they have changed relating to this cover. There's another one. Oh, smallmouth. Crappie number 2 at the same spot as 7 a.m. this morning. They're still there, and they're still set up on that break. I expect some of these fish to be in the pool part of this riffle, but they are setting up shallow there, and I think the only reason why they are kind of still shallow there is though it is hitting sun. Where those fish are set up, there is some shade, because if it was in full sun, I guarantee you they'd be further out in the pool part of this riffle. Had I a bit more time to fish that spot a little later in the day, I think I could have realistically picked up maybe 2 to 5 more crappie. I personally believe that a few of those crappie probably slipped into that pool, but it does require me to work a lot more thoroughly, and it does take a lot more time because those fish, in my experience, get a lot more tight-lipped later in the day. The bite window is usually mornings, evenings, and overnight. That is when crappie are most active. We have so much more to learn about crappie fishing, guys, so this will not be the last time you see creek crappie fishing. In the meantime, things are changing and changing fast. It feels like fall is in the air, guys. It is September 3rd today. On a more recent note, I went bass fishing over the weekend, and it was insane. It was insane. That is how fast these changes start to happen and be put into motion. Fish are in a good mood, and it puts me in a good mood. But more to come, guys. Like and subscribe. Tons of new great content coming your way. There's a lot of great YouTube channels out there, and there are just as many or more channels that are not so much. So by liking and subscribing, you are helping push my channel out into the world for people to enjoy. And that helps me a lot, and I appreciate it so much. Like and subscribe is so important. It's just as important as watching the videos from a creator's standpoint. So thank you so much for watching. More to come very soon. Peace. Have a great week, guys. See you out on the water.